What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Soy and I'm back again with another video. Today our main topic is going to be Weekend League and what you should be looking forward to, or I guess not looking forward to in this case. In this video I'll be talking about Weekend League, my experience, how I think it went, the meta of the game, basically the state of online head-to-head Madden. So personally I went 15-10. I'm very unhappy with it. I did not have a good time playing. It was honestly one of the more rage-inducing experiences I've ever had. I went 15-10. Throughout my 10 losses, I had 2 DCs, so game just quits out, gives me a loss. I didn't quit, it just boots me out of the game and gives me an L. I had one where my console actually turned off, and I also had 5 games that were decided by 7 points or less. And I know that you can say, maybe that's on my part, game managing, whatever, but we'll get more into that throughout the video. 15 gets me into the MVP rewards, which, not bad. I think it's like 95k and some packs, which we'll take. No money spent. We'll take all the coins we can get that are free. I truly do think I could have went, 17 or 18 wins, given, the circumstances of things that happened to me. Definitely could have done a lot better in the sense of that, for sure. Now, what really grinds my gears is the gameplay that happened, which you do see behind me. This is just a game that I played against somebody online. Just to sort of have some background information for, see if you spot some things I'm talking about. Now, our first topic is going to be defense. For the only thing I could say is, it is absolutely terrible. You cannot stop anyone at all. You have to pray that you are the only person that gets to stop that game. You have to play flawless offense, because if you mess up once, you are going to lose, because you are not going to get a stop the rest of the game. Secondly, zones are absolutely terrible. Deep blues, you could throw random streaks down the field, and one of them's probably going to go open at some point or another. You run right by deep blues, no matter if you shade over top, shade outside, shade inside, no matter where you're shading, you are going to get beat deep no matter what. Middle yellow zones, absolutely terrible. I have played lots of guys that run drags and slants, and guys just go right through their zone. They don't, in real life where they would follow through with someone who goes through their zone. In Madden, they run right in front of them, and they run right through them, and they don't follow. They just stay in their zone mindlessly. Purple zones are absolutely useless. The main reason you would use a purple zone is to cover like a corner route or a deep crossing route that gets to the sideline. They really only go to the hash marks. They don't go further. They're basically useless on the field. If you want to try to stop a corner route or an over route, you have to run cover 2. You have to set your blues to 25. Otherwise, you are absolutely screwed. We'll throw it all day on you. Other than that, you're basically not going to get any sort of pressure unless you're bringing 5 or 6, which right now is sort of the meta, which we'll get into a little bit more. You have to blitz to get any pressure. And, how do you do that? You bring 5 or 6 guys, but what does that do? That leaves less in coverage. So you're not going to have extra middle zones. So you're basically going to have 0 coverage on the field. You have to pray that your blitz gets there before your opponent can make a decision on where to pass to. Also CPU. There's a lot of cases you might see, I think 1 or 2 in this game, where I put a guy in a good position. I put my Darrell Revis in a blue. He throws right at the blue, and instead of getting the interception, he just swats, or he bricks it right off his hands. And he doesn't catch it. It's very, very frustrating when you draw up the perfect play on defense for what your opponent is doing, put all your guys in the right spot, and then your guy just absolutely bricks an interception and can't catch the ball. So overall, my defensive experience was absolutely terrible. So that's where I get pissed off when I lose 5 games by 7 or less. I even went through all my games and wrote everything down. Because it's basically who has the ball last. It's not who can get a stop, or who plays better on offense, or who plays better on defense. It's basically I get my opponent in that last second position, and it's just chew the clock for 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, and it's just not fun to play against, for sure. Because you're not going to get a stop no matter what, especially if someone can run the ball effectively. They have Derrick Henry and they just abuse you. But even in the pass game, you're not going to get a stop unless your opponent makes a major error. Offensively, I'm assuming you can understand it's probably the other edge of the coin. It's super easy. Every once in a while, everybody has a little bit of mental error or something somewhere. But I would say that's like 3 or 4 of my games. I genuinely think I made a bad play or something like that, and that takes me out of the game. And I understand that. I'll take those 3 to 4. But it's the DCs and the Xbox turning off, and then losing the games in the last second when you basically can't get a stop to save your life. If your life depended on it, it'd be like the scary movie where Shaq has to make the free throw or else it gets his leg chopped off. his leg is gone. You're not getting a stop to save your entire life if you really needed it. Offensively, it's barbecue chicken left and right. You are scoring. It's you know, I've had, I think, 1 or 2 games that were like in the 40s, 42, 42. It's not hard to score. The zones are so bad. You can get so many things open. You can really do whatever you want on offense. So I skipped a little bit ahead in the background video just so you guys can see the immaculate ending that is about to happen. The next thing I want to talk about is the meta. It's basically the same across the board. Everybody was running some variation of bunch, and myself included. It's too easy to use. There's a lot of good plays in it. Everybody's usually running bunch or bunch offset. Even bunch wide. I've played very few people that were running anything outside of that in Weekend League, but almost everybody's running it. And then on defense, it's 3-3-5 or 3-3-5 wide, and I've seen a little bit of 2-4-5 double A gap, like the mid blitz stuff. But for me, a majority of the time, it's 3-3-5 wide. Basically, everybody's running that just because you can get decent pressure. You're blitzing, you know, you have 5 guys in the line of scrimmage. You use your linebacker to sort of hover, and you pray you can get a stop. The only time I would say I was effectively actually playing decent defense is when I'm sending 6, getting instant pressure somehow. And like a guy gets a block shed, and my opponent either makes a Stevie Wonder read or I get a sack. Other than that, if he blocks a running back or blocks his tight end like a good player would, it's barbecue chicken. I'm not getting a stop to save my life either. Now, I'm sure a bunch of you are going to say, you're just upset that you lost, whatever. And I am unhappy about it, but it's more so about how the state of the game is. I would much rather have the record I have if the losses were earned by my opponent. 3 of my losses being free, it is unfortunate and stupid, and that's just the game, and that's Madden, that's EA, and it's been like that the past 3 or 4 years through Weekend League. Now, the games I lose by 1 point, I would love to see some sort of buff in zones, buff in pass rush, buff in something, because something needs to change in the gameplay. The way it is being played right now is terrible. It's not fun, and it's truly just bad for the community. We're going to see bunch offset and 3-3-5 wide through the entire year, and unless something changes, of course. But I don't want to sit and have to run 6 blitzing guys every play in order to get any chance of getting a stop. And I'm going to bring your guys' eyes over to this gameplay here. You can see we're up 3. He has the ball last. 6 seconds left on the clock. He's got to make a play. Trying to get a stop on defense here. You make the right play, get him into 3rd down, 3 seconds left. Does he choose to take his field goal? Does he choose to go for it? Does he choose to go for it? So, trying to hover the middle here. Trying to see if we can get it something over the middle, try to get a decent stop. Try to win the game. Let's watch what happens next. Throws right at my user. And I swear on everything I love in this entire world, I am jamming Y. I'm jamming it. I'm on a safety, so it's not like I shouldn't be jumping, and that's how I lose the game. And that's what's super unfortunate about it is, you make the play, you make the right move, you run the right stuff, but sometimes your guys just don't get good animations. And that's just the unfortunate side of it is, I go down, I take my 3, I get ahead, there's 45 seconds left on the clock. He works his way down the field because deep blues are broken. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a position where if my guy doesn't animate, I lose the game. All right, now the next thing we're going to talk about is rewards. Try to get off the negativity train and sort of prepare for next weekend, although I really don't even want to play, which is unfortunate. I got 15 wins, so we'll take a look at what the rewards are going to be. So it looks like here, 95 coin quick sell, all-star tier packs, plus 1 touchdown pack. So, probably comes out to like 125, 150K, depending on, I'm not sure what the all-star tier packs are going to be. Not terrible for no money spent, but just unfortunate for sure. But also looks like about, 18 was the win reward, so it was the top 100 reward. So, take out those 3 free wins and, potentially I'm in there, but it just sucks to see that 3 games that were not decided by my own fate are the exact amount that is keeping me potentially out of the top 100. I'm not saying I would have gotten it for free, but just unfortunate to see for sure. What do I plan to do with these coins? I'm really not too sure. I will say Josh Allen, probably time to go. The guy absolutely throws ducks sometimes. It's either an absolute laser or or it's an absolute duck. There really is no in between. Other than that, my receivers were good. I enjoyed playing with Kittle and Pitts. LT was good. O-line was decent. Maybe need a new center and left guard just because on the run game wasn't all that great. On defense, I'm really not sure what to do. I have, you normally speed is king, and it definitely helps this year, but I have the fastest guys, other than like Ed Reed, which I guess would be an upgrade for sure that I could make, and getting Cam Chancellor up to like 93, 94. But it just sucks that it really doesn't matter. Potentially we can only play with guys that are super high in terms of zone or man. Maybe that's the fix. But basically everything besides the legend cards right now are pretty bad in terms of how they're going to play. So on the defense, other than Ed Reed, I don't really see too many changes coming. Just because D-line isn't all that important. I'm not getting pass rush unless I send 6 guys. And then coverage is pretty bad as it is anyway. Alrighty, guys. That's going to do it for me. It is my rant. I'm sorry I went off on a tangent. I'm definitely not happy with how things went for me in Weekend League. I do feel cheated for like those 3 games. The ones that I lost by 7 or less. I can see why I lost them. I do think there definitely needs to be a change somewhere in the defensive system, whether it's pass rush buff, like heavy buff, so where you can actually get pass rush, or a zone buff for sure. Either or is definitely on my ballot for what should happen. But thank you guys for watching. All my links in the description below. We are live on Twitch almost every single day. It's been your boy Soy. Peace. I feel paralyzed.